Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a dungeon game written in Elm to help learn about design patterns. So a little bit of everything, I guess. All right. So today we're going to focus on dialogues and puzzles. Last time we tried to do drop down to solve the puzzle, and I think I might have an idea for how to make that work this time. We'll see. All right. So we are running an IntelliJ with an Elm plugin. And let's see, we got to start this thing up. So we had our README. So first terminal will run Elm Reactor when that wakes up. Okay. And we'll start our tests automatically running with a watch. All right, and that said go to Elm 8000. Let's see, we don't need this. But Elm 8000, let's refresh. All right, so this is kind of the state we're in right now. We have a little bit of navigation. So when you go into a room, you see some sort of picture that's intended to inspire you to figure out what pattern it represents. All right, we have navigation, so I can go to another room. Now you see down here, this button is showing the first room because we've already seen it. And now it shows the second room because we've seen that. And we can go to the third room. This one, hotel. And again, back to the first. Now they should both be visible. All right. My intent is to make a thumbnail at some point, but that's where we are now. Then the second thing is you've got a description of the room. This room has a box. The box has a button that says, say my name. You have the opportunity to guess the pattern. And so far we've said, I don't know. But we support 3 of these things. All right. And we can choose that one. So that's pretty much what we have at this point. If I go to my to-do list, let's see, is that open? No. All right. So what are we up to? Display a dialogue, trigger and response. Puzzle has answer. Room has optional puzzle. We kind of don't quite have a puzzle yet. All right. So the intent with this is that there's another dialogue that's like, what do you want to do? And it's going to offer you choices like press the button or say my name or, whatever. And with each action you take, something should respond with what happens. So in this case, if you say my name, nothing happens. If you hit the button, there's a puff of smoke, and then there's another box sitting there. It looks identical. You hit the button again, also looks identical. Another one pops up. Excuse me. But, and so hopefully that inspires you to say, hey, that sounds like a prototype cloning itself. And it's kind of like the design pattern prototype. Okay. So we introduced the barest bit of puzzle. We had the notion that the one thing the puzzle has is the answer. And the other is a dialogue that's a list of strings. Okay. And the idea is the first string is the query and the second is the response. All right. Okay. So we haven't done anything with it. Yeah. Trigger and response. Okay. The answer should match what? Well, these types, man, I don't know. I get a little stuck because dictionaries have to have these kind of basic types as their key. I think maybe I can alias them. I haven't been watching closely enough. Let's see. Do I have dictionary in this one? Yeah. I make a dictionary from a list. I don't know if I do enough with it. Let's look for dictionary. Dictionary insert model.current room. Model is a state, which current room has a room name. Okay, so I can alias them. All right, that's a little advantage. All right, and then do I have a puzzle test yet? No, I don't. Okay, so one thing I'd like to do is, I don't know if the answer is intended to be the chosen dialogue. No, it's the answer to the pattern, I think. I don't know. Maybe my state is a little confused. Much like its owner. Okay, so I need to track this. Let's see. These two represent the navigation. So I have the current room and the set of rooms I've already visited. So that's how come we can show the thumbnails for the rooms that are already there. We look and visit it and see if they have it. Then guesses. The guesses are for every room. What are you guessing the pattern is? Okay, so I think the puzzle, this is the answer to the puzzle. All right, so these inspire you, but you're going to have your own answers. And is that in state, I guess? Because state has, for every room, I'll tell you the pattern name. All right, so I think, let's see. What did to-do say we're doing? Display a dialogue, trigger and response. All right, well, before we go too far down the path, I think we should clarify. This answer is a puzzle name. All right, so the answer is a puzzle name, is a pattern name. So let's make that public information. And I don't know where we've aliased. Let's see, did we do it in here? What's room name? Well, room name. Alias in dungeon. Okay, where's dungeon? Well, the dungeon, I think, is going to hold the patterns. So I'm thinking of the dungeon as the description of the whole dungeon. You know, all the rooms, all the puzzles, everything in there. So I think that's probably a good place to put our alias for pattern name. Okay, so type alias pattern name is going to be a string as well. I think that's a good decision. Okay, now, let's see. So pattern name here, let's use that in puzzle. The answer is going to be a pattern name. That's, again, helpful. Will it look it up for me? Import. Nice. Okay. So puzzle, you have an answer for a thing. This is I don't know. I don't know if I want to get them. I don't have the intuition in Elm yet as to how far to go on these types, but bear strings seem kind of risky, but let's see what we got. Go back to the dungeon. The image, the description, the exits. Okay, that's fine. From list, room name to room. Image is a string. That's unlikely. String description. Room name. Dungeon gives a list of strings. Oh, the exits. Well, I think that almost should be list of room names, but Let's find the other place that used. Somebody else had the pattern name. Well, there's patterns. Guesses. Where is guesses? I guess that's in my state. Okay, so this is a dictionary from room names to pattern names. All right, now we get to see elms. I mean, this is the part people who like elms seem to like. I should have picked up pattern name. Yep. Okay. And what happens here is we get these. Well, we may get complaints. See, unfortunately, I have to use type alias for pattern name because it's being used as a key, and if I wrap it in a full type, it doesn't know what to do. Let's do a save all, which I think is just S. Yes. We'll save and we'll run some tests. We might get some complaints. No complaints. Oh, that's the downside of an alias. Okay. I would like to say my pattern names look like pattern names. So let's make that true. Okay, so patterns, I think they should be pattern name. I guess I can map this. Map to, how do we do this? Oh, list.map, okay. I got this backwards as often I do. Will that work? No. What's my... Oh, parens, not braces. I don't know the complaint here. Unresolved reference. Well, let's save and see what that thing says. Okay. S to pattern name S. Now I thought dungeon expose that. I thought I could use that as a constructor. Apparently not. Let's try a different way. Let's see if we have to map it. I'll say the patterns type is list of pattern name. Okay. And then the patterns of that. So I guess it'll default it to that. Okay. Save. Okay. Now the other, that looks a little goofy to me. The guess, I believe you're giving it a pattern name, so let's make that a pattern name. Okay, instead of a string. So I'm mostly documenting more than anything. Model.guesses. Guesses, exert current room, pattern name. Goes to pattern name. Guess pattern, pattern name should be that. Okay. I think we're okay. Yeah, so a little more documentation. I don't know if it's accomplishing much. All right, let's see. So let's get oriented here. Dialog displays, puzzle displays dialogue, trigger, and response. So when you go into a room, there should be a puzzle, and you should choose a trigger, and when you do, you get a response. All right. So I think I want to get the puzzle a little bit in shape first. Let me do it this way. And puzzles here. So if you, I don't know, what if you, I guess if you had a puzzle, I don't know if I'm encroaching on this or not. I mean, the image goes with the puzzle in a way. The description goes with the puzzle. The exits is more the rooms. Exits is a list of a room name. Okay. Description's a string. Image is probably an image name of some sort. Okay. I mean, I would like to give you, I would like the room to contain the puzzle. So how are we going to do this? I think if you ask a room for the answer, you should get it. Okay. Let's see what we can do there. So dungeon test over here. And let's split and move right. Okay. And we don't need that for now. All right. So my notion is if you go in a room and you say, what's the answer? Then the room should be able to tell you. Okay. Test room knows its answer. And you may have guessed, but my keyboard is getting a little flaky. Okay. So knowing your answer means you've got a lambda. We don't care what it is because we're a test. And if you build a dungeon, somehow you ought to know what the answer is. This is really not dungeon. It's almost room. Maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. I've got rooms in here as well as dungeon. Well, I described dungeon. I think I don't remember the sweet stuff. Well, let me test the rooms in here the way I was going, but I'm just going to test a room. So if I make a room with some image and some description And I don't care about the exits, but I got to make a puzzle. Image room description. Yeah, well, I'm going to say puzzle. Something. And my puzzle needs a answer and a dialogue. Okay, the answer is proxy. The dialogue is empty. Okay, you got that stuff. If you ask for the answer, then I expect it to equal proxy. All right, now what else is going on here? I don't import puzzle. Let's let it do its thing. Really? Okay. All right, expose puzzle. And we need list.fromList. Oh, I don't think you do it that way. Do I have a list somewhere? Well, do I need to? I don't think I need this. Nothing. And answer. What's your problem? Inspection type checker options. Well, let's see what it complains. It's going to complain about answer for sure. Okay, so puzzle should have an answer method. Okay, so puzzle. Well, I guess I could ask it for dot answer and just get it. Maybe that's okay. Room expects 3 arguments, but it got 4. Okay, because the puzzle, we're making the puzzle a new thing. All right, so room is in dungeon. I'm now saying it should know the puzzle that it has. Okay. So it knows puzzle. Now that's going to upset a lot of others. Well, I don't know. Something's things are too coupled or too something. These puzzles, okay, dungeon from list, that's fine. But when we get to rooms, we got to have a puzzle. All right, so can I make an ignored puzzle for now? Ignored puzzle equals puzzle. The name, we'll just give it a question mark and an empty list. Okay, and I can use that in these tests that have rooms. Let's make this bigger. Okay, and an answer. What a room A to B. Okay, well, I think answer might be the right question then. Now this has well, this one's a puzzle. Let's null one up. It's a little awkward, but okay. Now, if I say answer for a room, I want to know well, this is well, where's room? Okay, I want to know you give me a room and I will give you a pattern name. Answer of room name. Room equals that. Okay. Hopefully this compiles. Oh, not good. Your imports form a cycle. Why is that? Because puzzle needs dungeon? Pattern name. So maybe pattern name. Pattern name belongs down here. I mean, I think my puzzle is going to be the lowest level thing that knows it. And there may be some other things that need to find it now. Oh, dungeon cannot have it. All right, who's... Can I... Oops. I'd like to clear this. No? Okay. Dungeon elm. Oh, there's the complaint. Okay. Dungeon module does not expose pattern name. That's in state. And then that one's not right. Okay. And I've been trying to do like system ones and then mine. Okay. All right. And main. And in a way, this is the kind of stuff they're talking about. Being good. I guess I could let the tool do this, right? Okay. And theoretically, once everything's matched up, I cannot find a pattern name. Oh, my rooms need patterns now. Okay, this is in main. The actual dungeon. Okay, rooms. This is getting awkwardly big. Okay, but it needs a pattern. And in this case, this has an answer. It's prototype. And we're going to have no dialogue yet. Pattern puzzle. Okay. And this one is proxy. No dialogue, you just had to know. And this one is observer. Okay, third argument to room. Oh, there's one more. Puzzle unknown. I don't think you're really supposed to get here. It's just sort of a default. Okay, and now it's always one more. The argument is a list of type, but room needs third argument to be puzzle. 36. Oh, am I 35? I think I'm too far up. Oh, okay. We're down to the test. All right. Does a room know its name or know its answer? No, it does not. All right. So I guess to some extent, I mean, part of my experiment with this is understanding Elm. And, you know, there's a pattern there that says sort of a pattern of development, I guess. If you get the types right, and by the time you bubble them through, everything should kind of be working again. And I don't know. I'm still kind of struggling on what the right type is. All right. But we've said a room should know its name. And in our case, this thing just doesn't. All right. But if you ask a room for its name, it really the way to get it is I guess it's to ask the puzzle well, it's room dot puzzle. Maybe just dot puzzle of room. Okay, is that? I'm not sure what the deal is there, but that gives you a room. Then you should take that and the room. Let's get down to room. Sorry, the puzzle to get to the answer should be dot answer, I think. Okay, so to get the answer from a room, you ask the puzzle for the puzzle in that room. What's the answer? I think. I may have something backwards, but okay. Seems like it's working. Okay. That took longer than I thought. But the good news is now my dungeon knows the answer to the question of what pattern it is. Let's look at dungeon. Readjust this a little. Okay. So dungeon knows the answer. And if we're in main, now we're getting it down in here. Like the way we do it now, I don't know what that TBD is for. Oh, that was our attempt at generating options. Okay. Your guess is current guess. All right. And that's not quite what we want to show, right? I mean, what we'd like to show is if it's right, we want to show one thing, and if it's wrong, we want to show something else. All right. So I don't know how much to where to go here? Let's see. Do we have a room? I don't think we exactly. We have current room. Okay, from the model we can get the current room. Well, let's keep going on this. Let's do that. Right answer is, and let's get the right answer. Well, where are we going to get that? And I'm not really testing these view pieces very much, so here we go. I want to take the current room from the model, and I want to get the answer. So let's try this. We're going to take current room of model. You know what? We're gonna do this a little better. Buttons equals. I think we can do another let. Oops. Right answer equals. Well, we want to take the current room from the model. Okay, and if you take that and ask for the answer, I think we should get something right. Now I have to get the syntax right. Okay. Elm let. I don't know if it's a comma or syntax. Yeah, that'll be. This equals that equals. That seems okay. I don't think the blank line counts, but. Okay, I can feel like we're kind of correct here. Oh, maybe I'm not lined up. Columns are a deal here. In Elm. Oh, okay. Current room model. What type is that going to be? Well, let's go to model. Okay, so state current room. Ooh, okay, is a room name. Oh. I guess I got to do more. I need to. That gives me a room name, but I need to look it up in the model to get the actual room. Known room. No. No, I need to look it up in the dungeon is what I need to do. The dungeon. Well, the dungeon is a dictionary from room name to room. So the dungeon can look it up. That's for sure. Okay, so I'm saying you should be able to ask dungeon. This with default's very annoying. Image description exits. I don't know. Well, we're at break time, so let's take a 2 or 3 minute break, and then we'll come back and see if I can figure out how to get the dungeon tied in there properly. All right. See you in 2 or 3. All right. So we left off, and basically, we want to ask a dungeon, what's the answer? And the dungeon, well, we want to give it a room. What's the answer for a room? Name. I should be more specific. Okay, so let's back out this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take this out. See if we're back where we were. Cool. All right, but what that reveals to me is I need to ask the dungeon, given a room name, what's the pattern name of the answer for that room? Okay, and we don't have that yet, so let's add a test. The test is dungeon knows answer for room name. Pipe 2. Lambda nothing. Okay, so if we take a dungeon, and we'll borrow this one. Okay, dungeon from list. That, and then we can close it. Okay, and then we're going to call answer for the dungeon, and we expect to get, well, let's make a puzzle so we can have an answer. Puzzle. I guess I can throw in proxy again with no dialogue because we don't care about the dialogue right now. Okay, so what's your problem? Lambda nothing goes to dungeon.fromList. Well, we don't have, we want to answer for room 1. And we expect it to equal proxy. Okay, well that's not bad. Okay, so answer doesn't exist yet. It exists on room but not dungeon. All right, so we'll stub it out. And this is answer given a room name and a dungeon. Produces a pattern name. If you do these, you should get, okay, let's call it wrong. Now, what is the matter here? From a syntax, oh, it's in the file. The room, maybe I need to pull room out. Okay. Let's deal with the naming after we get it working. Okay, X answer. Test run failed. Wrong is not equal to proxy. Okay. Let's... Well, I'm going to do the cheapo way. Okay, so I'm passing, but with a hard-coded answer. That gets me enough that I can refactor a little bit. I'm going to try extracting out room and let dungeon include it. So I don't know if I'm proliferating too much stuff. Let's see, new L module, room. Yes. Okay, and then room is going to pull from dungeon. I guess this should be down at that level. Room name. Okay, puzzle. Let's take that. Import. Good. Okay, now dungeon. Should do an import. Import room. Okay, have I got that? All right. Now, let's take this and move it in there. Pattern name. Import pattern name. Okay, now dungeon should be happy. Yeah, there's going to be some import fixes to do. Oh. Let's import room. Exposing room name. Room and answer. Okay. Now he still knows which answer I'm after. Okay. Let's do a save, see if anybody else is affected. No? Okay, so, a little bit. Dungeon does not expose room name. State.elm. Okay. This is wrong. Okay. Any more bubbling up? State.elm. I cannot find a room name. Okay, so main.elm. I can't click that. That's too bad. Main.elm. I guess I have to delete it from the dungeon. Well, I just want to import room. And I know these dots are probably not so good, but let's get it green. Okay, that's progress. Now let's see if, I'm not sure if I'm making things ambiguous still, but let's make dungeon. I would like this to be just called answer. Oh, see, he's not comfortable. Oh, I can qualify it. Okay, dungeon.answer. Not much of a guess. Okay. Dungeon answer. Still ambiguous. Dungeon test. 64. My room answer. Okay. Nice. Okay. Let's make it work for real. Okay, we've got the lookup is doing what it's supposed to do on this side. This side is weak. Let me add one more case. If I don't know, maybe with default all over the place is really annoying. But let's see what we can do. Default room, puzzle. Yeah, okay. Let's add a test. Dungeon has default room answer. And this one is, we'll take the same example. Well, we'll shorten it. If you ask for dungeon.answer, I think you ought to get this. Dungeon answer for room 1. All right, but this is going to go away. There. Okay. So even if the dungeon has no rooms, and you ask for an answer for the for a room that doesn't exist, we expect this default one to kind of kick in and give us one question mark. Okay. It's kind of a can't happen, I hope. It's kind of a shouldn't happen, maybe. That's probably more accurate. All right. Now this one should fail, and this drives the maybe with default, so that's how I justify it. Yep. Okay, so this thing equals, and again, we're going to do maybe dot with default room. We'll get room name from the dungeon. Then we'll pipe that. Pipe to, and we want to do, okay, that gives me a room. So I want to do room.answer. And yeah, that looks right. Room.answer gives me a pattern name. All right. Save this. Both should pass. Yes. Okay. Now, this maybe with default room. Look at that duplication. It's all over. I don't like it. I don't have an answer. The only answer I have is well, no, I do have some answer. I could probably pull this out somewhere. So maybe image room name. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm looking at with dungeon here is maybe with default get room name dungeon shows up over and over and over. Okay. What if dungeon had a get? All right. Let's try that. Okay, so if it had a method, you get a room name and a dungeon, and it gives me a room. Is that what it gives me? Yeah, it gives me a room. Dungeon maps to room. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get an overload complaint on this, but what I'm going to say the answer is this. So a bit of an extract method. Room. Okay, we'll do this and see what it complains about. I just saw as though I was expecting to see the definition here. Oh, yes. Get room name dungeon equals. Yeah, that's ambiguous. Let's call it lookup. Okay, should be okay. Oh. Yeah, okay. So now I would like to use lookup. And so this, I believe, becomes lookup room name dungeon. All right, and I hope that passes. All right, so I'm at least simplifying a little bit here. Okay, so I've extracted a method in effect. All right. Yeah, so the point of all this was I want to get back to my main, and I want to get the answer for a given room name and display it. All right. And let's go here down to the bottom. Current guess right answer is. All right. Now this time I want to say current guess model gives me what? That gives me, all right, I want to do dungeon. Which room? Current room? Current room model gives me the room name. Okay, so if I take dungeon dot answer, what does he want? Wants a room name and a dungeon. Well, the room name is this. Oh, I guess I want to do right answer and do that up here. Okay. The right answer is current room model gives me the room name, and I want to do answer in There's a way around this. The problem is I want this thing inserted in here. And I could swear There's an operator for that. Now, I was looking through and I didn't see an operator for that. Okay, this... Yeah, that's function composition. That's not going to do it. All right. So what we're looking at is I can pipe this in as the last answer, and when I pipe this in, it goes in as the next argument. But I've said the next argument should be this, and I want to insert it in the middle. I thought there was a way to get at this. Is it? What did we just see? This thing piped says run. I don't know. Will this do it? No. Okay, well, let's go back again. Okay, and let's let that be. Okay, I think that should be harmless. What I'm going to do is swap the order of the answer arguments. Okay, all right, so back to dungeon. And I'm saying answer, I want to take the dungeon first and then go to the answer. Room name. And I'll swap the order here. Okay. And then now I have the dungeon. How can I get that done? Well, one way I can do it is put it here like this. Okay, that solves it. I've got the dungeon first and then the room name. Now this, okay, let's use our let again. Let dungeon equals, no. Dungeon equals this thing in the rest of this. Is that all right? Apparently not. What's not right? I cannot find the end of this list. Room 1. Well, I think it's that right there. Okay, let's see how we do. Oh, come on. Oh, run past. Okay. All right. Let's go back to main. Now, this should be a little closer to right. Current room model gives me a room name. If I feed that to answer dungeon, it should be answer dungeon current room, and that should be okay. And I don't know, maybe this is just as readable the other way around. In which case I've gone to a little unnecessary work. No. Oh, this is dungeon.answer. Okay. Yes. Now, given my argument just now, I'm gonna flip this back. Jeez. All right, it's complaining because dungeon wants it in the other order. I don't think there's any reason to pipe that big old thing. You know, it doesn't need to be a pipe. It's short enough. I'm going to just type it. Okay, that's fine. And now I have to switch this. Dungeon. And this is room 1. Let's call this non-existent. Okay, and this should still be okay. All right. Okay, we are running still, so let's see what we got. Okay. Cancel. Reload. There we go. Okay, so a lot of work to get your guess. I don't know. Right answer is prototype. And then if we selected it, we want something else to happen. But we're proving that we can select the right thing. Okay. Now, it's time for some refactoring. So, let's see. Let's start at the bottom and just look around first. That's a good way to start. All right, so we got room.elm, and it knows the answer. It doesn't. Now my question is, do I need type alias? Apparently. Expected uppercase identifier got a brace. Oh, can I call it room? Puzzle room. Now, whoops, room. I think this thing of defining a name as itself, I don't think is so unusual, but I'm not sure what the error is here. All right, we'll do this. Oh, wow, I didn't even have to hit save. Okay, the room value is a room, but the puzzle needs the first argument. Puzzle. Unresolved reference. The room is a room, yes, but it needs the first argument to be B with puzzle of A. Okay, this is under Bill doesn't understand the difference between type and type alias yet. Oh, now this is okay. It's a little weird, this recursive thing. And are you blowing up over here? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Recursive type, it gets bigger and bigger. Okay, it shouldn't be like that. All right, so type alias room equals, wait, okay, there we go. Space is a little off. Okay, I'm finding it a little weird. Well, my stuff is not just returning the field from the thing, it's actually looking it up. So digging into the result, I guess I'll be okay with that. Room name in a room, they're low level. Now, puzzle, I think, is the next lowest thing. Puzzle is a pattern name and a dialogue, which we haven't touched yet. Okay. And dungeon is next. A dungeon is a bunch of rooms. Now, we don't have anything. We don't have anything kind of in the dungeon as well as the rooms, something global. And I guess that's okay. All right. Room, default room, then the from lists. I mean, basically these are these lookups. I wish I had a real Elm person here. If any of you are, speak up, please. Even this, it's less duplication, but it's still duplication across that. But they're looking up stuff in the room of a dungeon. Okay, so it's kind of digging in a level so the caller doesn't have to, which is a good thing. All right, is it L? Didn't do anything. Okay. It's like, I don't know whether I'm doing 2 space indents or 4 space indents. Okay, at least I'll be consistent per file. All right. Let's go out here and let's check what we're up to. Okay, let's check in. All right, so what we've done, we added puzzle, which knows answer and dialogue, and then refactoring, and then added answer to display. Okay, and I probably should be pushing a bit more often here, so let's work on that. All right. Dungeon, I mean, I think you give me a dungeon and you ask me what's the image in this room, the description, the exits, the answer. You can ask me a bunch of stuff. That seems, yeah, I mean, that's okay. All right, now state. The difference is dungeon is more or less static. So dungeon plus room plus puzzle, those are all like, that's the game designer's domain. They arrange those things together. Now we're getting into what does the actual gameplay look like? What's the current state of the player's action? Okay, so they've got the room they're in, the rooms they visited, and they've made guesses on the patterns, and that's all we've reflected so far. Okay, and again, there's this unknown room thing going around. This is more on the user side. All these rooms reference the dungeon, basically. And I don't know, I'd love to have a way to get rid of like that, maybe with default stuff, and but anyway, I think we know what room you're in, we know what your guess is for the current room. We don't care about all the others until you get into those rooms. So we're only ever looking at your guess at one moment. Now, the view, we want to get more sophisticated. And I think this is where I want to break things out the most. This is already painful, and it's probably going to double or more in size. It's also still somewhat ugly. I think I could... Well, I don't know. At some point I have to do some formatting, and I'm not like the CSS genius or anything. So, what we get is going to have room for improvement, but I'm sure I can make it look better than what we have. All right. I think the font is not the right font for one thing. There's probably a little header stuff up here. This stuff, I imagine we can come up with a better font there. Maybe this could be centered. I don't know. Maybe the whole thing could be centered there. Okay. And yeah, so where are we on our to-do list? Let's take a look at that. I feel like okay. So we're still working on the answer. I guess we've been working on this more. The puzzle displays the dialogue we have not done. Pattern dropdown starts with the current room's guess. Well, that's sort of weird, yeah. Locks for secret doors, dialogue and activities for pattern puzzles. Well, that's kind of this. All right, but I do know we need to read the dungeon from JSON at some point. All right, so I'd like to make the dungeon kind of a pluggable thing. Theoretically, you could have multiple ones, although by the time I finish this one, I expect I won't be doing a lot more, but who knows? All right. Well, today, I think, are we on 21-07? Yeah. All right, let's record what we're doing a little bit. 10:01, wow, okay. All right, so puzzle has answer. I think we have done that. Okay. I think what we're looking at is room displays message about answer. Okay. And we'll work on that. I think the first step of that is let's clean up. All right, so... and what I want to do is I want to extract out this view stuff. I don't mind leaving something basic up here, but I want all the work to be done in done down in a separate class. Okay, so let's start extracting it, and then we'll take a break. So I think I'll just call it view for now, and we'll see how that goes. All right. Add that in. Okay, so let's take another 2 or 3 minute break, and we'll come back and clean up this view class a bit, make it a little easier to add stuff, maybe work on the image, the CSS a little bit, and then the piece I want to add is I want to display the right answer. I want to display when you're right. I want to say that's right, and when you're not right, like not quite or something. So we'd like to change the text of that depending on the state, and I think that's going to be something more of the view's job and a little helper method. So we'll do that when we get back. So 2 or 3 minutes. See you then. Welcome back. All right. Let's get back to this. So the bottom line of this is we want... Well, I think I'm going to make a helper function that's the same. All right. So let's extract this. I don't think with style cares, right? So let's try extracting this. Ooh, nice. Do you extract methods? Wouldn't that be nice? No. Introduce parameter object. Okay. Well, I'm gonna copy. Okay, so I'm doing the sort of well, I'm doing the very careful refactoring method of saying let's the manual way. We're gonna copy things and then fix them up. All right, and I'm gonna say this is view helper. I'll get a better name eventually. All right, but it's gonna have the same type. Well, I guess I'll paste the body first. View helper equals this, and the type is going to be the same as this. Whoops. Okay. And then I want to call it, okay, let's call it first. Takes a model. Oh, double click. How did I do that? Okay. We're going to call view helper of model. Is that going to work? View helper of model. Okay. That does not really have tests, so we'll just have to run it and see. All right. So I'll do a reload. Should be indistinguishable. All right. Now I don't want the style issue to be part of the view stuff. So I'm going to try putting this on here like this. And taking it off here. Okay. Now, let's see if that works. And if that doesn't work, we're going to see some CSS issues. All right, like centering won't center. Okay, and let me just do an Option Control R just to make sure it's really reloading. Okay, but I think that's a good sign. All right, so this now, I believe view helper can go to the other class. All right. Okay, so view helper, we got some imports to do. Model, where's model coming from? Oh, main. Okay. Already my scheme is suffering. Okay. Model. Well, state. I think I can say this is a state. And this is a state. And I think we can, messages up there. This is not looking so good, is it? All right. Let's put it back. View helper. I'm not sure here. So what's gonna have to happen? So I need to pull down model. To make this work, I would need model and message to be extracted into their own place. And you might be able to argue that that's a good thing. And I think I can live with it. I mean, state. Maybe I should be... I could define this in state, and then you import state, and everything's good. But like here, init knows the state. There's nothing special about it. Model gets used as a state. I don't know. Okay, so I don't want to tear things up too much. So let's delete this file. Okay, and everything should still be okay. I'm just going to do it in place for now. Everything's good. These things, I will bust this up a little bit though. Well, what are the sections? I've got one that's the picture. So if I had to say, I'd say picture description, dialogue, gas doors. Okay. And it should read like that. All right. So it's a div, and I'm going to say there's a picture. The picture takes a model and returns an HTML message. Okay. But if you take picture of model, I want to get some sort of code. All right. And I think I can just do this. Oops. Let's paste it here. Okay. So he's got all the information he needs. All right, he doesn't care about buttons and he doesn't care about right answer. So I would just like to say picture of model. And then I'll leave this one here for a moment. And I should get 2 pictures. Okay. Yes. All right. So I'm going to trust this is good. All right. And now I would like to have a description of the model. Description of model. And that's going to be, I may be having trouble here. Yeah, I'm getting confused over the 2 descriptions, I think. Yeah, so this, let's call this what shall we call it? Well, it is a description. What's a good synonym for description? A setting. Let's try that instead. Okay, so this will be the setting of the model. Okay, and I'm going to live a little and just try it like that and reload. All right, so I still have this in there. This is good. All right, now this one is 2 parts, so I'm going to try putting it in a div. All right, so the way div works is these are the attributes. Okay, so let's put div, no attributes, but then it's got a list of these things. H2, I don't know if I can indent in a good way for this. This, and then this. The select, and down here I'm going to put the brace, but this BR thing never seemed to do anything, but it does go in here as well. And the guess goes in here as well. All right, so now I'm saying there's a picture, there's a setting, maybe a scene. We'll come back. All right. Okay, so this, I'm making a new div. I'm assuming that's not going to make a difference in the display. Again, we're manually testing, so let's reload. Okay, I think that's all right. Now, why BR didn't put in a blank line? Do I need 2? Or do I need a space in there? Probably. All right, I really would like empty text here. I wanted a blank line between those. Let's see if I get that. Nope, apparently I don't know what BR does. Okay, but your guess, all right. And then now I want to select this out. And this is the guessing section. It's this stuff. Okay. Well, really, it's more like this. Okay. And let's call guessing. So all this is really guessing model. If I could spell. Okay. And I don't know if the words doors, where's right answer? Okay. Let's pull this down. Okay, so we'll say let right answer equals this. Okay. In this div, and maybe, I don't know how bad this looks. Like that. Okay, nobody else uses right answers, so that's okay. And then final section, I'm going to make this a div again. Div nothing with children, doors, another div with the buttons, and closing brace here. Okay. Well, it's actually here. Okay. Again, it should look the same. Oh, okay. I took out the brake. Oh, okay. Well, that did do something. That was down here after select. Okay, I had brake, that, and I'll try another. Oh, let me just try text. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not really getting it. Okay, it's probably got to be a new paragraph or something. I'm not going to worry about it too much. All right, let's get this last piece. All right, so this is the doors. Okay, so I'll be a little bolder here. Cut this doors of model. And the doors for model is, and all this is going to be the inlet. Let doors buttons is that stuff in div here. Let's bring these back a little. Okay. Now this should be okay. We got a little redundant stuff here. Okay. And let's get the redundancy out. View helper doors model. We don't need the buttons. We don't need the let in anymore. Okay, and we can bring this a little left. Okay. Is picture model. All right, I'm going to combine picture. Let's make a scene. Picture model and setting model. All right, they're going to be in a div. Okay, so the scene for model is the picture and the setting. All right, and we'll change this to scene. Save it. Should be the same. All right. And now I'm going to inline some stuff. I think I can tolerate one line of image here and setting here. I may regret it because they may get more complicated, but I think for now, that setting was an awkward name. Scene is not bad. So what does the view look like? Well, it's a scene followed by some guessing, followed by some doors. Okay. That is better. And we'll reload. Well, I'll do a full reload. Okay. That is cool. And I'm gonna check this in. Well, all right. Test should be good. Okay, and we'll push that. Oh, better. All right. Now, let's tackle some CSS. I would like to... Okay, what do I want to do? Well, I'd like to change the font. So change the text font, change the header font, and add some breathing room. All right, so let's say that in our to-do. Okay, displays message about answer. Well, it does. And I guess we also did refactor split up view method. And now I think this is improve CSS. Oh, yeah, let's just say improve styling. We know that's CSS, but I always try and keep these descriptions, well, always is a strong word, but I try to keep these descriptions in terms that make sense from the customer's perspective or the user's perspective. And yeah, I think those are not bad. Dialogs a little bit of a computer word, drop down's a little bit of a computer word, but I think we would know what that meant. Okay. And if I say refactor, well, all bets are off. Even there though, I try and justify it from another perspective sometimes, not always. All right, so improve styling. Let's find our CSS. Okay, I don't know. Oh, yeah, so what is the styling we're going to do? We're going to do a better text font, better header font, and some breathing room. Okay, now I don't know what we want to do about the fonts, honestly. It's let's see. So let's start with the header font. Okay, we've made this H2s. And I don't know, I'm doing a pretty minimal styling kind of thing here. Not there are fancier approaches and I'm kind of somewhat aware of them, but I don't think we're going to go that deep. So let's find out what fonts we can use. And I don't know. Okay. Browser fonts for CSS. What we used in the original was like a fracture font. It's kind of a Gothic looking thing. But I'm pretty sure nowadays there's so many fonts out there we can find something. Okay, so at least I would like to be a sans serif font. I don't know. These don't sound very... Okay, you're going to show them to me. Verdana is kind of a nice one there. Helvetica is always a... I don't want Times. I don't want Garamond. I don't want Courier. Yeah, I mean, I think we want to do this kind of thing. We want to say Verdana sans serif. Okay, so let's see. Fantasy fonts. There's also Google fonts. I don't know if I want to go down this path. Okay, how to use Google fonts. There are 810 fonts. Yeah. Where's the list of 810? Google Charts. Nope. Well, let's see if we got something that sounds like this. Are we searching? Okay. It's acting like my network is not very active here. Okay, let's well, you can always come back to the recording. So let's do this. The body, I think, font family is Verdana or sans serif. Let's see if that picks up anything. And I'll do the full. There we go. That's okay. The size, maybe I could make that a little bigger. Font size. Yeah, let's try that. Font size 18 points. Oh, that's nicer. Okay. A little padding would improve it. I don't know how to make these larger, but that's okay. We'll see what we can do. And okay, is my network back? This is not promising. Still trying to open Google. Maybe my back is here. I can get back to where I was. Well, let's try this copper plate in fantasy, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Can I probably get a better look on my system. But we'll give it a shot. Copper font family. Copper plate and fantasy. Let's see what that does. Well, it's a little contrast anyway. Is this padding? Always mix up padding and margin. I don't know if this will default out to everybody. No. My usual approach is to just throw crazy values out there and see if that helps make it visible. 50 pixels. Yeah, that does make a difference. Okay, so body. Let's do the same up here. Is 50 enough? It's not bad. But I think I did something already. Oh, that's better. That's definitely better. Too much space down here. Margin, is it putting it everywhere? 140. No? Let's take this off. Okay. And I guess that space was there. I just didn't registered. So I guess the implication is I could choose my own font. I don't know if I have any. Well, this ought to have something. Font. I can at least amuse myself, right? Fracture was what we used, and that was not a generic one. This is probably... I don't even know if I can read that. Ooh, Lucida Black Letter might be a good choice. One word. Okay, and that's definitely a Mac thing. Let's go there. All right. Yes, that's improved. All right. Well, we've made a little progress there. So I'll check that in off camera, but I think we've made the improvements I was looking for. At least we've split up the view some. We've got some better fonts in there, a little bit of breathing room around it. I think this is too much breathing room. I wish this were bigger. But it's improved. I'll take the improvements, and we'll work at some point on getting the images on a similar size as each other and all that stuff. So we'll stop here. Next time is this Sunday, October 3rd, from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time again. Thanks for joining me. Hope you can catch me next time or some other time in the future, and take care. Bye-bye.